was one project that you've seen that's helped foster British Muslim and British Jewish relations, what would that be, or what would you like to see? What's the project that really stands out to you?
So that's a great question. I would differentiate between two types of projects. First of all, there are things that Jews can do for Muslims, there are things that Muslims can do for Jews, and there are things that we can do together. And I'll give you an example of all three. Okay?
Right.
So Muslims doing something for Jews. We had a problem with a synagogue in Bradford, and the roof caved in. We couldn't pray in our synagogue. The Muslims of Bradford came together, they raised funds, and they contributed in the rebuilding of the synagogue. The very fact that I'm mentioning this as an example to you today is a reflection of the power of a good neighborly relationship that does an incredible amount in terms of impact. An example of something that Jews do for Muslims, I'd actually mention two. One was the Muswell Hill community. There was a Muslim center in East Finchley which burnt down about 3 years ago. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. And for nearly an entire year, the Muswell Hill Jewish community provided space in their synagogue hall for the Muslims of that community to pray. And it was beautiful. It was very special. And I would add to that an experience I personally had when we had the massive wave of refugees entering into Europe, crossing the sea very dangerously. Our Jewish community raised significant funds in order to help the refugees. And I personally visited Edomeni, which is on the border of Greece and North Macedonia. At the height of that immigration, there were approximately 10,000 people crossing the border every single day. And we set up a mobile medical unit and provided halal sandwiches. And also we provided a special hall where people could recharge their smartphones, because the 21st century refugee is a person who hasn't had anything to eat or drink for days, but who needs to recharge their smartphone. That's the reality of it. And I went there personally to witness what we were doing and to engage with Muslims who had come over. And I knew there would be criticism, and there was criticism, but I interpreted such criticism as being part of the problem, not the solution. And that proved to me, as chief rabbi, I have a responsibility to everybody, and that includes Muslims. And that became very trying, because you will remember that there was a terrorist incident in Cologne involving one such refugee. And then people said, aha, chief rabbi, so you went to hand out halal sandwiches to somebody who was going to be a terrorist. And I said, come on, this is a drop in the ocean. Just look how many tens of thousands of people came through. They're human beings. We have to help them. They're our family. And it's this kind of messaging which is really, really important. And then an example of the two communities coming together, Mitzvah Day, happens every November. And that's when we started out with Mitzvah Day. Mitzvah means a good deed. Mitzvah Day being a Jewish day of action, but we extended it to include interfaith. So on Mitzvah Day every November, you see some amazing joint initiatives. And I'll never forget, in the Edgewest Synagogue Hall, in the kitchen, seeing Muslims and Jews cooking meals together for poor people. It's that kind of interaction that enables us all to realize we're all human beings. We've got families, we've got issues. Let's get on well together.